Not exactly sure how to intro this video. Multiple NBA players and one NBA coach and one 50-year-old man who works as an assistant coach were all picked up on gambling probes by the FBI today. Apparently, per Shams, the FBI has been investigating Terry Rozier for 2 years. That one's a weird one. I thought he was cleared, and then all of a sudden he's not again. They got to look at it again, which is definitely interesting. The other one's Chauncey Billups, not for sports gambling. Chauncey Billups was not betting on games. He was rigging poker games with the mafia. That, again, I'm not exactly sure what what to even say about that. The other one was Damon Jones, who got picked up. If you remember Damon Jones, he used to play in the NBA for a little bit. He's an assistant coach now. I forget where, but he's been assistant coaching for a while. 50 years old, him and Chauncey, 50 years old, rigging poker games and making money out of it. It's insane. This one's different, but Pablo Torre reposted an old video of his of a Twitter account, a random Twitter account, breaking the Terry Rozier news and the Malik Beasley news at the exact same time, basically like months before the FBI probe came out. They'd basically already said Terry Rozier was involved, and I think it was Jonte Porter was the other one. And so that's definitely a little bit interesting to know that somebody got ahead on this, which is incredible. But apparently what I've been hearing is that these NBA players are basically getting in bed with the gamblers, like the degenerates, whether it's in Discord, whatever. They talk online or they exchange messages and they agree to check out of games. Rozier's was when he was playing in Charlotte. Apparently there were messages, well, from what Shams said, there may be messages. I haven't seen them personally, but apparently there was messages between Rozier and other gamblers, like a group of gamblers or whatever, that he told them he was gonna leave the game early. 9 minutes in, he leaves the game with an injury. Tens of thousands of dollars were cashed out because he left the game early. The Terry Rozier one's especially weird too, because the probe, or the one that they did earlier, said that it came back to some random guy who was just taking his unders in, like, I forget where, but it wasn't around him. That's what their initial probe came back with, but I guess this new one's more updated, where they know more. They have messages that directly tie him. If they have messages that directly tie him, his NBA career is over. And also, I don't mean to like disrespect the FBI or anything, but they're clip farming. Why did that lady say the season just started and his season is over? I don't know. Let me look up her name so that way I don't get it wrong. The New York Police Commissioner said, as the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury but for integrity. Why are you clip farming in this? I don't know. She's doing it for aura points, I'm guessing. I have no clue. But as for right now, Kash Patel seems like he's on the case. And if Kash Patel's on the case, we won't hear about it for 8 months. And then it may disappear. It may not. I don't know. I don't know. I've been paying a lot of attention to Kash Patel's FBI. There's a little bit of a, not disconnect there, but I definitely don't have the utmost faith, to say the least. Chauncey Billups, along with 31 other people, rigged poker games. I'm not exactly sure where, when, how. Is it? I remember Gilbert Arenas got picked up for running poker games out of his house. That ended up not clearing, but it's kind of on the back burner now. Apparently, yeah, I don't know where he was running these poker games out of. Whether it was, apparently he was in with the mob. He was in with organized crime. La Cosa Nostra got the Chauncey fucking Billups of all people. Also in the investigation, the FBI also said that 4 teams were bet on using, quote, insider information. Those 4 teams are the Lakers, the Raptors, the Hornets, and the Blazers. However, I'm not exactly sure if he meant the Toronto Raptors, because during the press conference, the guy said the Toronto Rangers. That's not a team, big dog. But yeah, apparently the Raptors, the Hornets, and the Blazers and the Lakers were involved. See, you could argue that makes sense. Jonte Porter was on the Raptors when he got picked up. Terry Rozier was on the Hornets when the bet was placed. The Lakers, I have no idea. And then, of course, you have the Portland Trail Blazers. That's Chauncey. But Chauncey wasn't tied to the sports gambling operation. So apparently there's insider information somewhere, whether it's from Chauncey or from a different player. Gamblers are getting the information, illegal insider information, from somebody on the team or a coach or the GM, Adam Silver directly. I have no idea. This is the biggest scandal in recent NBA history. I mean, you could argue the Kawhi one, but let's be honest. I know he did something illegal. We all know he did something illegal. who really cares anymore? It's at the point where it became so drawn out and boring to me that I'm like, dude, nothing's gonna happen. Damon Jones is a defendant in both investigations. The one into sports betting and the one into the mafia crime with Chauncey. That's what I'm getting out of that, which is even more insane to say. Again, Damon Jones, you are a 50-year-old man. You got a family, and you're gambling. Come on now, bro. I feel like this is an episode of The Sopranos, you know, like where is it Davey that gets in too deep with the gambling and then he owes Tony money. I think it's Davey, that's his name, right? You get what I'm saying. These guys play deep is I think the phrase Tony used. This is an incredible probe, and I'm not exactly sure what really more to say. Pablo Torre is also updating and saying that high-level NBA sources say the league's investigation of Malik Beasley did not find anything, but they also didn't technically close the case as the NBA deferred to separate. So Malik Beasley's not cleared yet either. I believe the FBI is going to take a look into him as well. Terry Rozier's lawyer has since put out a statement that I can read to you. We have represented Rozier for a long time. We reached out to prosecutors and told them we should open a line of communication. They characterized Terry Rozier as a subject, not a target. But at 6 a.m. this morning, they were called to tell me FBI agents were arresting him at his hotel. The lawyer also said they wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivation in this case. They appear to be taking the word of spectacularly incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and these prosecutors revived that non-case. Terry's not a gambler, he's not afraid to fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight. That's exactly what Terry Rozier's lawyer said. Kash Patel also just said that they were actually a part of La Cosa Nostra. I was actually joking when I said that. Apparently, that's actually the truth. Kash Patel literally mentioned the Genovese family and who is the Gambino family. I didn't even know they existed in 2025. I thought they went down when like de Blasio took office in New York. I thought they were done decades ago. And apparently, I have no idea who's reviving the mob. Where's my invite? That's my first issue. My second issue is stop rigging sports games with the players. This is insane, man. He literally by name mentioned mob families. In getting together and hooking up with NBA players and coaches. I'm so lost. I would like to reiterate, I don't have the utmost confidence in the FBI in this case. If they prove me wrong, they prove me wrong. This is just my personal opinion. You don't have to believe it, whatever the hell. I personally don't have a ton of confidence in them. For one reason and one reason plainly. They're mispronouncing team names. Like, what are we doing? How good of a probe is it when you don't even know it's the Toronto Raptors? You're calling them the Rangers. You know, also, I don't know, man. It just feels really weird to say that La Cosa Nostra in 2025 is working through Discord. So as of right now, I believe that's all we really got, is that they were picked up this morning. Patel in the meeting, or in the press conference, did not really give a ton of evidence or show proof of any of this stuff. I guess that's what the court is for. But it would have been definitely a little bit nicer to give us what did they do? What kind of games were they rigging? Like, you know what I mean? Was this dice games with weighted dice? Were the cards marked in 3-card or something? I'm not exact. I would have liked him to specifically tell us what kind of card games they were rigging. You know, do they got like chipped Uno cards? I have no idea. Gilbert Arenas got picked up for the same thing, man. Is he singing like a canary? I'm just putting it out there. This is wild. It's not even the Italian mob, to be honest with you. I'm reading out some of the names that I'm seeing reported that may be involved, that are allegedly involved. We got some people like, I mean, these are some Italian-ass names. I'm reading down, I see like John Gallo, Marco Garzone, Thomas Geraldo. These are real Italians, you know what I'm saying? Asian names, I have no idea. Kenny Han, Usman Hoti, Osman, Horatio Hu, Zen Zhu, Sun Tzu, War. This is what's, I guess, being declared on the NBA. We got names in here like John Mazzola, Michael Renzulli. Yeah, these are some Italian, coming from an Italian man, these are some Italian ass names. I hope that this is the start of a new era where the NBA says, hey, maybe we should drop the DraftKings sponsorship, the FanDuel sponsorship, the ESPN Bet sponsorship. I can't wait. We have games on Amazon Prime now. Oh, where's their gambling site? I don't know. I think it's about time that we get rid of that. I guess the worry is it's kind of like, it's really weird with gambling, how it's gotten kind of worse since it's been legalized, when it was the opposite for other vices like alcohol. When prohibition hit, it was 10 times worse. Drinking actually went up. People were consuming alcohol more often. It was just bad alcohol, it was poor made. You know what I mean? Prohibition actually helped alcohol consumption go up, but the legalization of gambling made it worse, I guess, comparatively to when it was illegal. I don't necessarily know. You get what I'm saying? Prohibition did not work, but apparently legalizing gambling, maybe that is the way. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe they do legalize gambling so that way there's a way that they can trace it directly back. It's a lot harder to find proof when there is no electronic evidence. But when you're placing a bet on DraftKings, it's on a phone. That phone is tracked. I don't care if you got a Samsung, if you got an iPhone, that thing is tracked. So when you place that bet, they'll be able to see it. I guess that's what the positive is for legalizing gambling, is the fact that the bets are actually more visible. So maybe that helps a little bit. And remember, we're just 2 days in the NBA season. I was going to come on here and make a video about how the NBA season's been really fun. Victor just had the most impressive 40 I've seen in a minute last night. VJ Edgecombe deep fried my freaking team. I don't even know what to say about VJ. He had an unreal first game. There was so many good games yesterday that waking up to this was definitely a punch to the stomach. Oh, that's great. Here comes the games, the fun part of the season. And here comes an investigation to kind of overhang and make it a little bit cloudier over the top. I saw a thing that they were talking about the investigation into Rozier, Chauncey, and Damon Jones on ESPN, and their ticker underneath, the little ticker on the bottom, showed an ESPN bet ad, and they quickly got rid of it. They removed that shit from the screen immediately. So again, maybe this is the time to stop inventing more and more sports books to cash out. Or here's the thing. If we are going to do that, get rid of individual player props. Individual player props are the dumbest thing on earth. A gambler that doesn't have insider information loses a majority of the time. That's just the through and through about player props. Also, they're more easily able to be fixed. You look at player props in the MLB. Emmanuel Clase, he got suspended and he ain't coming back. You want to know why? Because he's a pitcher, and there was an individual player prop that said, will he throw a ball first pitch? Will he throw a strike first pitch? He was intentionally throwing balls, so that way the bets would hit. We have to limit it. Foolish Baseball said this the other day. We should limit it to where it is strictly picked on over-unders for total points scored, so OU 237 for tonight's Cavs game, or will this team win or lose? Individual player props, lose fair gamblers like the ones that aren't cheating and directly tied to organized crime. It shits on them. 95% of player props don't hit. And B, they're more easily fixed. Guys like Terry Rozier can bet, I'm going to miss my first 3 shots. And you know what he can do? Miss his first 3 shots. He's in control of that. Turnovers. He can bet on individual turnovers. He can say, I'm going to leave this game early. Take my unders. That cashes out millions of dollars just on player props. I don't think the issue is necessarily gambling itself, because there are forms of gambling that are better. If you're gambling on who's going to win tonight, the Magic or the Hornets. I don't know if they're playing tonight. I don't know. That's a little bit less, that's less easily fixed. You know what I mean? It's harder to fix a game with 10 to 20 people playing, maybe. Let's say both are running a 10-man rotation. 20 people are playing. It's a lot harder to get the 2 coaches and then the 20 other players to fix the game rather than one individual player prop on will Jaylen Brown have a turnover today? Yeah, chances are yes, because Jaylen Brown can control that. I'm not accusing him, I'm just using a name. But you know what I mean? It's more easily fixed. If you have any other comments, talk to me down below. This was definitely an interesting one. Like I said, it pulled me right off the treadmill. I was about to start working out, so I got the sleeveless on, everything like that. I had stuff planned to do. This was not in my cards, but apparently it is today. Talk to me down below. If there was anything I missed, feel free to correct me. If anything comes out after this recording and after this video is released, there's nothing I can do about it. subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to catch the game. See you guys in the next one.